What if your greatest growth this year came not from ambition, but from tenderness? In this video, we dive deep into Jupiter entering the sign of Cancer. What this means for everyone, but especially if you natally have Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, and how to make the most of this transit. Jupiter enters Cancer on the 9th of June and will stay there until the 1st of July 2026. Now, it will retrograde in November, but it won't change signs during its retrograde. So it's going to be a very clear-cut run through the energy of Cancer and a very clear-cut transit in that way. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It is literally by far the biggest planet in our solar system. But it also rules optimism, good luck and fortune, philosophy, higher religion and wisdom. Whereas Cancer is the cardinal water sign, and as such it is connected to themes of home, family, nurturing, intuition, emotions, and the overall mothering archetype. As a cardinal sign, Cancer initiates, it brings forth something new. It marks the beginning of a new season, for example, the beginning of the summer season in the northern hemisphere or the winter season in the southern hemisphere. But as a water sign, it is also very switched on to emotions, to intuition, to that kind of sixth sense that is particularly prominent in mothers when they think or feel about their children. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, which means that the sign of Cancer helps to bring out the very best qualities of Jupiter. So we've got a very fun transit to look forward to. So if you've been watching astrology videos on social media especially, then you may have come across this very, very frequent idea that Jupiter is the planet of good luck and fortune. This is where your luck is. And while that is true to an extent, it is also a very limiting view of Jupiter. And actually, if you want to just look at pure luck alone, then you should check out the asteroid Fortuna, which is a much better indicator of good luck. Jupiter brings expansion, and expansion is often associated with abundance, which we all love and we all probably want a little bit more of in our lives, right? But there can be such a thing as too much of a good thing, right? And in that way, our Jupiter placement can also often indicate where we are prone to overdoing it, to overindulge a little bit, to have too much of a good thing where it starts to become a not so good thing anymore, leading to gluttony, to greed, or overexhausting ourselves. Cancer nourishes, it nurtures. It is the sign of the home body, of the safe family nest. And as such, Cancer is able to create this stable, safe and solid base from which Jupiter can expand and grow into all different directions safely without flapping in the wind too much. Another attribute of Jupiter is wisdom. And so when we combine that with the emotions of Cancer, that's where emotional intelligence and empathy become our superpowers. If you have been dealing with some tense family dynamics or a difficult home situation, then this may find resolution while Jupiter is in Cancer. Although there will still be some effort required from all parts involved, even with the very generous push that Jupiter provides in these situations. You may feel a stronger urge to create a very safe haven from your home, to make it a place where you can retreat to at the end of a very exhausting day. We may see a rising interest in ancestral wisdom, the wisdom of the land that we live on, an interest in food and emotional safety. Jupiter in Cancer provides a very strong counterbalance to Saturn in Aries, where success doesn't just come from hustle alone, but through getting in touch with our feelings and doing what our intuition feels is the right thing, through emotional stability and through heartfelt connection. And this is a very, very important counterbalance to have to both Neptune and Saturn in Aries, which would otherwise make for quite a harsh environment. Essentially, we are called to redefine what success actually looks like based on how it makes us feel. And in some cases, we may also see a return to more traditional values in both philosophy and religion, and how home life should be individually for us and as a collective. So this is a time where close personal connections, think close friends, family, people you share a home with, can really become enriched. So tap into that with deep, meaningful conversations and allowing yourself to be emotionally vulnerable. Of course, as long as both parties are on the same page about that. This is the time to nourish your inner child and heal your inner child through therapy, through family constellation work, or through creative outlets. This energy is very conducive to creating the kind of home that you look forward to coming back to at the end of a work day, or when coming back from vacation or from any other kind of outing. And it will allow you to build a legacy from the heart, based on not some kind of foreign measure of success that has been forced upon you, but it allows you to work on projects, on businesses, on work that makes you feel fulfilled, that feels good in your heart and in your soul, and that makes the world a better place, no matter what your own personal definition of that better world may be. And to kind of kickstart that whole process for you as Jupiter moves into Cancer, I've got the following journal prompt for you. What makes me feel emotionally safe, and how can I create more of that in my life? So what makes me feel emotionally safe, and how can I create more of that in my life? If you were born with Jupiter in Cancer, then this marks the beginning of your Jupiter return. This is a really wonderful time where your life expands. We often say it is a very lucky year, but it all, of course, depends on how you look at life. So your opportunities expand, your vision expands, your field of influence expands during this year or so that Jupiter will be in Cancer. And if you are a Jupiter and Cancer native, then to be honest, you are already quite fortunate and you are already quite lucky. You tend to be very well liked by other people, mostly because you are funny, you're charming, and you're very generous with your time and your attention. You also tend to do quite well with things that are old, so antiques, art, properties that are older. You do have a bit of a lucky touch when it comes to those. The things that expand your life and enrich your life tend to be children, whether your own or children that you are close with, and either having a great relationship with your mother, or if that wasn't a possibility for you, then healing the relationship that you have or had with your mother, whether or not she is still around. Healing any ancestral wounds will also be a way for you to truly expand and enrich your life experience. You tend to be quite adept at anything to do with the hospitality sector. Again, we've got this theme of nourishing, of nurturing, of creating this comfortable, safe haven, not just for yourself, but also for other people. And you also tend to be quite frugal with your finances, which starts to really pay dividends later on in life. So if you'd like some more clues as to what to expect from your Jupiter return, first of all, have a look at the house placement of the Jupiter in your natal chart. That will give you an idea of the area that will become activated. And then look back at what was happening in your life 12 years ago. And again, that will give you an idea of the themes that may be recurring, although now they will be recurring on a higher, more evolved plane. So a few interesting Jupiter aspects to watch will be, for one, on June 24th, the Sun will conjunct Jupiter in Cancer, and this is widely considered to be the luckiest day of the year. Although luck can manifest in many different forms. Luck can be, of course, something huge like meeting a soulmate, making lots of money, winning a competition of some sort. All of those things are considered good luck, but also good luck can be getting out of a difficult situation unscathed. It can be remembering something really important that you forgot at home at the very last minute before you go away. And in some cases, the lucky break that we get on this day may not become apparent until several days, weeks, or even months later, when it turns out that perhaps we met somebody that we had a fleeting conversation with on that day and we haven't really thought about it, and then it comes back weeks or months later and you start a project with that person. Just to give you an example of the kind of things that can happen around that day. Then on the 12th of August, Venus meets Jupiter in Cancer, and this is the great meeting of the two benefics. This is an expansion of love, of finances. It gives us such a huge boost of positivity and an appreciation of everything that is beautiful and everything that we value in our lives. Arguably even better than the Sun-Jupiter conjunction. And next year in January, we have a very interesting constellation. Between 9th and 14th of January, we will have Mercury, Venus, the Sun, and Mars all opposing Jupiter within 5 days of each other. This is a huge sign of renewal, especially if we consider that all of these then move on to Aquarius and conjunct Pluto soon after. So January to February next year, who knows how this is going to manifest, but it's certainly going to be a time of change and a time of renewal. It's cut out to be quite a significant time in world history, even, you could say. On a personal level, if you have any planets in water signs, but especially the personal planets, then Jupiter is going to be really ramping them up and really expanding them throughout this entire transit. So you will feel these in a stronger way, but in a much more positive way as well. So, how to truly make the most out of this transit? For one, I encourage you to have some home rituals, whether that is cooking a nice meal for yourself, or family dinners, or morning coffee on your balcony or in your garden, or perhaps diving into ancestral work. Any kind of ritual that grounds you in your home. This is going to be very important because we are facing a lot of upheaval energy, of fire energy and air energy, of a kind of revolutionary energy that is coming from a lot of the other planets. And we need this counterbalance which Jupiter is offering in Cancer. We need this kind of safe haven that we can retreat to when the world around us is going absolutely mental. You may want to look at the things that you are manifesting, and instead of setting objective goals, set some emotional goals. So what I mean with this is, for example, instead of setting a goal of, okay, I want to live in a villa on a hill and it has to have 2 swimming pools and 5 bedrooms and blah 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 blah. Instead of that, try and set a goal of, I want a home that makes me feel, and then you list all the things that you want to feel in that home. I want to feel safe. I want to feel luxurious. I want to feel happy. I want to feel inspired. I want to feel expansive. All of those things. And then the amazing thing that happens when you set manifestation goals like that is that you then open up all of those different ways and all of those different possibilities of how you can experience those emotions that didn't even cross your mind. They were not on your radar in the slightest, but when you see them, they're amazing because they give you exactly what you want. So set emotional goals rather than just looking at objects or materialistic goals. Not that there's anything wrong with materialistic goals, but if you really want to tap into Jupiter and Cancer, look for those emotional goals. They will serve you very, very well. In a similar way, if you are creating a vision board or maybe updating one that you've already made, look for images that invoke emotions in you. Words, shapes, patterns, colors, textures. You really want to look for the feelings that are created by the images and not so much for the details of what they are showing. So let me know, what's one way you want to grow emotionally this year? What emotions do you want to feel more of in the coming year? And if you would like some personalized one-on-one guidance regarding Jupiter or any other planet, then you can book a consultation with me through the link that I'm going to leave in the description bar. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Please don't forget to like it and subscribe so you can stay up to date on lots and lots more practical, grounded, real-life astrological guidance. See you soon.